Welcome in, Dragonkin. I got a cool origin to show you today. This origin is called the Mirrored one. So, we'll go through the abilities one by one here and just show off the origin in its full capabilities. So, let's get to it. So, the Mirrored one, you are the reflection on the other side of the mirror escaped into this world. So, the first ability is Refraction. So this allows us to teleport. So let's show you that. Refraction allows you to teleport within 22 blocks in front of you. And yeah, it's actually a really useful ability. Good for escaping combat encounters that you don't really want to be a part of. So the next ability here is also having to do with Refraction. So if we look at an entity while teleporting, I can enter and spectate the mobs through its own vision. So let's do that. So we look at this cow, we can... yeah, we're seeing through the eyes of the cow now, which is really cool. Just to show you that we are actually doing that, I'm trying to move my mouth around right now. Can't move my mouth around whatsoever, so yeah, when the cow's head moves, my head moves. Well, technically it's still the cow's head, but you know what I mean. And yeah, what you saw there is another ability that this origin has. When you get out of the mob, it deals damage to them. So, right there, right there. Now you can circumvent this by just, well, you know, just shifting, which is pretty cool. So next is Reflection. We're going to do the secondary activator before the main part of Reflection, which is, you know, giving strength or weakness to enemies or mobs. So using the secondary key, you can take over mobs' movement, and yeah, so let's show you that. So, as you can see, now I have taken control of the cow's movement. I can also show off its head movement as well. So, as you can see, the head is moving where I'm looking, where my cursor is. It's really cool in my opinion, you know? Because, like, now I can go, like, espionage mode, right? But anyways, enough of that ability. Now we have the next ability, which is giving strength and weakness to any animal or mob. I'm assuming this works on players. I'm pretty sure you can do it to players. I don't have another player to test, but here should be strength. And this one should be weakness. So as you can see, weakness, strength, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. The next part of the origin is having to deal with the armor. So as you can see, when you start putting on armor, it does less for the origin, it looks like. So let's switch back to a human to see how much armor we're losing out on. Yeah, we're losing out on, like, at least half of the armor bars. So that's pretty not cool. But as you can see, we get less armor as this origin overall, and yeah. We also can't see the armor on us, so it is pretty defensive-based, technically speaking, but you do get less armor, so it kinda sucks. But anyways, on to the next thing, which is fall damage. So we probably should take off the armor, so this is an accurate reading of how much fall damage you get. Taken now. So this normally does like 2 hearts of damage, right? So now we go down to 3.5 hearts, which isn't the best. I'm not gonna lie. But you're a mirror, you're fragile, so it makes sense in the sense of the origin. So, yeah. Now, what else does this origin have? I think I've covered mostly everything, but let's just check just in case. So, the next ability is a camouflage ability. When you're near transparent blocks, you go invisible. So, yeah, so anyone can't see me in here. But that's basically all this origin really does. And, I mean, it's a really good origin, I'm not gonna lie. Very sneaky, very sneak-based. Yeah, but I can see this being used in, like, a multiplayer server if you want to try to gather, like, intel from other players, if you're doing, like, a whole, like, roleplay thing. But anyways, Dragonkin, that's all this origin really has to offer, so I'll see you guys later.